Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a small spiritual video um, here in Herten. And I will be talking about trees as an allegory for life or the spirit. And I will just post this video in YouTube without any description, without any commercial. I won't market it anywhere. I won't market it on Facebook because I got attacked in Facebook. And I'm just choosing to, post this online and, see how you guys or whoever is willing to listen to it. And I do most of these videos rather spontaneously because I have something to share, and I won't add any photos or anything. I'll just post a video and see what happens. And it just occurred to me because I'm a thinker, I'm a philosopher. I think a lot about life and how my life works, and all the things that I have to learn, because I do believe that everything is meant to be, that all the challenges and everything that we go through has a reason. And I do believe that when we do have inner conflicts, and things that we carry with us all through our lives, that if they remain with us, these inner conflicts, they are found. The foundation is in mostly in childhood or in the teenage years, where something happened that we could not handle. Where love and fear and anger were sort of entwined, like they were in a ball. It's like yarn, where we can't unravel these conflicts, and we think, oh my God, this is something mean or horrible within me that I'm, something that I can't handle. But these are actually conflicts, and sometimes it's very difficult to unravel this, and a lot of people are struggling with psychological problems in this day and age, more than before. You had maybe 1/10 of 1/10 of people in society had OCD, like in the 80s or 70s. Now it's like 3 of 10 or 4 of 10. We have more people with ADHD today and more people with autism today than earlier, and it stands to reason, because we have so much input that it's really difficult to handle it, because and this is the downside of having the society that we have, which is that everybody can have their 15 minutes or 15 seconds of fame. Like Andy Warhol's nightmare of everybody having their 15 minutes of fame. He said that sometime in 1970 or something, and any person can have it. You can be your own Hugh Jackman today. You can create your own stardom. You can, with websites and with everything, you can present yourself as a star, right? And the immediacy, of the modern world has created a world where everyone is living outside of themselves. We are actually never in our middle. We're never actually with ourselves. We're always preoccupied with what other people think of us. which is WhatsApp, which is Facebook, which is YouTube, which is whatever, Instagram, TikTok. We're always preoccupied. What do other people think of us? That's something that's always been there. All through history, we have ever since the Neanderthals created fire, we've been preoccupied with what does the other guy think of us. Now, that can be toxic, right? Because, and that is the point of Buddhism. That's the point of Christianity. Christian prayer, Buddhistic meditation, all of that has, beyond the spiritual aspect, which is, bringing us closer to the soul and to eternal life, is to just be able to say, okay, for a moment, I'm being introspective. I'm not trying to impress the other guy. I'm trying to be introspective. I'm trying to be with me, because we say that evil people, or people that are egocentric, they think about themselves. No. The thing is, egocentric people, or people who do supposedly evil things, they are only thinking about other people, which is a paradox. A person who kills another individual does it only because he thinks that's the only way he could change the other person's mind. Right? And that's a great paradox. And so we've actually created a world that sort of contradicts or works against healing. Because if we find love within ourselves, if we heal ourselves, if we heal the core problem in our lives, we can actually solve everything. Because if we have love within ourselves, true love within, then we can actually love everyone. This society where we constantly chase something, something. We're chasing fame, we're chasing money, how to manifest your $1 million, all these things. And manifesting your $1 million won't be possible if you don't solve your problem. Because if you're happy, if you're within yourself, if you believe in yourself, if you love yourself, if you're happy with your life, if you're happy with everything, then you will be able to manifest your $1 million. But a schizophrenic person, a neurotic person who says, okay, I'm going to manifest my $1 million, he won't be able to do it because he can't focus. Because all manifestation, there's thousands of manifestation techniques, or trying to become a world star, or, you can't do that if you're not focused, because manifestation is all about focus. And if you have a person that is schizophrenic or OCD or whatever it is, you won't be able to focus anything because he's all over the place. It's like, somebody stuck in an Iron Maiden, stuck in this torture instrument. And so the basic thing is to try to, if the universe puts you in this space of your life, in this body, with these problems, with these wonderful things, these are things that are meant to be for you to work on, right? God never gives you a problem without a solution. Now that solution might take an entire life for you to solve. And even people who have challenged you, they challenge you or give you a problem so that your soul can work on it. And ultimately, with quantum physics as, this eternal energy that where matter does not exist, all that, with electron entanglement, energy particles that come together and are formed and do the same choreography, although they're light years apart. All that, and adding to that near-death experiences and all those spiritual things. they are proof that we are eternal beings, that what we are and feel and do and everything that we see is not real. That what's real is the the spiritual road, and what we have here to learn. That is probably the most important thing. Now we're arriving at the important aspect, what I talked about in the beginning of this video, the tree of knowledge. Now, I'm just calling it the tree of knowledge because, you know, you all know, everybody knows the story about Adam and Eve and the Garden of Eden, and Eve plucking the apple from the tree of knowledge, and giving it to Adam, and God being angry and everything. And it's very easy, if we look at a superficial level, to look at this allegory as a story that tells us about the forbidden fruit, right? The forbidden fruit of sex, right? Or the forbidden fruit of duality. You see you realize that you're naked, all that, right? But if you read Adam and Eve very carefully, the original story, right, even if you believe it's real, then you will see that the whole thing was based on shame. Animals don't smoke. Animals don't abuse alcohol. I mean, there might be chimpanzees that eat fermented berries and all that, but animals are not. Animals are mostly immediate. They live in reality. They live in the now. They don't have to go to the therapist to find, okay, well, I can't let go of my past. Animals will literally make love in open nature with their partners and not be ashamed of it. So their sexual drive is a part of their whole thing, and they know that somewhere in their emotion, and they read vibrations, they know that, well, the maker, because I'm sure that emotionally they will be connected to a force, a life force that connects everything, just like in Star Wars. And they won't say, okay, me wanting to make love to my partner is not an evil thing, it's a part of life, because it connects me to my partner, and it creates a baby. So ultimately I become what my maker is, which is a creator. And if we're all honest, when some of us make love to our partners, there are moments when we feel so close to that partner that we become one. So calling sex a sin is like, I don't know, it is an actual contradiction, because it can't be. So the whole story, in my view, of Adam and Eve is just a story of brain versus heart, because the moment when they start to judge the whole thing, or try to give it a name, or try to analyze it, or become too intellectual and not live in the moment, live in the past or in the future, that becomes a problem. It becomes shame, because then you are not where you are. You are not in your middle, which was virtually where we started. You are not in your midst, which basically is a huge problem. But then, so this whole tree of knowledge thing is an allegory. Now, about a year ago, I posted something in WhatsApp, um, which was if you've lost yourself in your own branches, it doesn't mean that you've lost yourself. You've just gotten lost in your own branches, right? You're still the same tree, because we all know when we're children, when we're kids, we have an immediacy to life which is very close to what animals have. We don't judge anything. We say, okay, this guy is a man, I'm a woman as a woman, a tree is a tree. We judge things. We don't judge things. We just see them, right? Which is a problem when we grow up, because then we start, giving things names and, saying, okay, this is this or that, So sometimes it's good to, get back to basics. That's, I think, one of those things that we have to remember. So when we've gotten lost in our own branches, if think of yourself as a tree, right? At the beginning of your life, you're a small tree, or you're a seed, and spiritually, intellectually, or physically, you grow. You grow into this tree, and sometimes you get lost in your own branches. That doesn't mean that your root is gone. It just means that your focus is somewhere in the branches, which is not bad, because all the bad things and the good things and everything that you experience is a part of you and actually has made you into that person. Now, sometimes it's difficult to be what you are, or try to, understand that also the bad things can be good, or because if you hadn't gotten lost, you wouldn't have known what it is to be found. And just because you're lost in one moment in time, doesn't mean that you'll always be lost, right? You can be totally dazed. You can be a zombie. You can be totally, completely confused. But that doesn't mean that you're going to be confused all the time, or that the problem that you have will always be a problem. I think the most important thing to get back to basics, to get to your middle, is to be honest to yourself. Not only about your present, but what in your past created this situation. And it doesn't mean living in the past, but what problems are you taking with you? What conflicts in your childhood or in your teenage times are you taking with you at this moment? How are these conflicts shaping the way you see the world now? So what I'm saying is, the only constant thing in the world is change, because everything changes. Everything changes. A tree loses its leaves and gets its leaves in the summer, but it's the same tree. Something changes. A child grows into an adult. A flower grows. All things change. But it's still the same energy. It's still the same person, animal, whatever. So the big mistake we do is to say, well, we live in the now, but we don't have to worry that problems will remain problems. We solve problems. So, and it's like a tree grows, right? So the tree, we can actually see ourselves as a tree. But we all know that problems that we have are there to be solved. And we come here to solve a problem. We go here to solve a problem. We're lost at one point in life so that we can find ourselves. We go into the darkness to be the light, or to maybe shine light upon someone else, right? We confront a person that is maybe not so nice to us, in order later to understand that this person was just caught in themselves and actually so lost, compensating their own lack of understanding or compassion on being mean to feel good about themselves. There's 1,000 different reasons. So we confront darkness in order to be the light, and so there is actually no good and evil, not in that respect. We just show ourselves ways to to learn what how to evolve, just like a tree, right? It's like when a woman is expecting a baby. That baby comes to the world through the, well, sort of, the woman has pains, right? Um, and those pains actually turn into this incredible being, a new being that is comes to Earth with this beautiful little baby, which was created through the lovemaking of two people, right? So love creates new life, which is also one of those reasons why we say that sex cannot be a sin, because it's a tool. It's a tool to a tool to create love and create life. So with lovemaking is just it's like a prolonged kiss, which is compassion, you know. And I say marriage is one of the most noble things in the universe. Two people that decide, I want to spend my life with you, is really good. And often you have partners who are contradicting. You have hot and cold, you have, calm and nervous. You have all these different opposing things. And you ask yourself, okay, why do I have this partner that is so different from me? Well, I think because you have to. If you were with a person that was just like you would actually not learn anything. Your tree would not be able to grow. So maybe this whole thing with finding our middle is just to be able to say, we never lost our middle. We never lost it. We just have to realize that sometimes our focus is on the growing branches. And our job is to say, okay, all my confusion, all my cataclysm, everything that goes on is not bad. It's just like a challenge to realize that everything is you. And I'm going to end with a nice little quote by Hugh Jackman, which is, I'm a huge fan right now of Hugh Jackman. I think his work is marvelous. All the Wolverine films is one thing, but also, he's been Wolverine now for 17 years. But also things like Kate and Leopold, The Sun, which is a beautiful movie, The Greatest Showman. And he said he tries to see that God is everything. And he's trying to find God also in the uncomfortable situations, right? Where God is with you also in the uncomfortable situations. And this is no different. You say, okay, we have to make a very big distinction between uncomfortable and panic. Just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean that something awful is going to happen. It just means that it takes a little effort. You're flexing your muscles. When you're in the gym, sometimes it hurts. Some of the exercises hurt. But eventually you're flexing your muscles. So when you say you're in pain, you have problems, you got to find a restful spot to gather strength. Not always work, because your brain and your soul needs pause to work or to process this information. And you can find God in the restfulness, or in the challenge of the uncomfortable situation, because that just like the angel that's being asked by the soul that comes to heaven in those difficult situations of my life, there were just one pair of footsteps in the sand. Usually in the easy, if you see your life as like two pairs of footsteps on a beach, right? Your life, two pairs of footsteps on the beach, on your beach, which is you and your angel. And in the most difficult situations, there's only one pair of footsteps. And then the person asks the angel, why weren't you with me in those difficult situations? Why were there only one pair of footsteps? Well, the angel says, no, I carried you. And if you believe this, if you believe that in the difficult situations you're carried, then you have, if you know that God and the angel, or you call him Buddha, call whatever, is there, the spirit, the great spirit, if you see that, and if you believe that there's nothing you have to fear, and that everything's fine, no matter what bullshit your brain comes up with, then you're safe anyway. And if you never lose sight of the light, you're going to win anyway. And this is the thing that I want to sort of leave you with, is Hugh Jackman's word: find God in the uncomfortable situations, also the comfortable ones. Find God in making love to your partner, into praying, into having a glass of wine with friends, in nature, anything. But also find God in the uncomfortable situations. And don't ask yourself, why am I going through this? But how can I use this? How can I use this situation to be, to become a better person, and find my own center. So you're a tree. You're actually a tree. And trees are alive because they have roots. They have very, very big roots that go down, way down, and they communicate with other trees and roots. They take care of their younger trees. All of that. You grow all through your life. You grow. You become this magnificent big tree, right? And your energy anyway. So don't worry if you're like lost in your own branches, and don't take every thought seriously, because it's like Sonny Sharma or Greg Braden says, all your thoughts are not your own. They might be the thoughts of your mother, your father, your grandma, friends, colleagues, things that they have told you that you say you must think, right? So anything that comes up, see them as clouds in the sky, or like helicopters, right? And let the helicopters just fly by. Say, okay, there's a helicopter there, fine. But it's not my helicopter. I'm seeing it. I'm identifying with it. I'm thinking it's my helicopter. But actually it's not. So don't take it all seriously. There's a wonderful t-shirt that I've had on for a couple of days, which is none of this really matters. Of course it matters. Love matters, right? But if we go from this, this realization that everything's energy, and our personal experience of something, or our spiritual experience, our common goals, are actually the center, the reason. Our communication, our spiritual communication is actually the center, and not, society works more or less. There's some things with society that are pretty shitty, but most of society, and even if we think, oh my God, society sucks, and the politicians suck and everything, but if you look at the garbage, is being emptied. The streets are working, the buses are working, you're getting to work, you're getting back to work, the schools are there, the jobs are there. We go to the supermarket, we live our lives, we pay our bills, we get electricity. So it actually works. But it's just a structure. So, and I know people say, okay, you have to go and vote. Yeah, okay. But just ask yourself, where am I on all this? Can I take over my responsibility for my life? Can I take my own, voting a politician, having trust in superiors is fantastic, is great, but don't, give all the responsibility over to other people. what can you do? You know, it's like this Kennedy. Kennedy said, "Don't ask what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country." Now that sounds really, you know, and I'm neither Republican nor Democrat. I'm actually pretty neutral. I try to be neutral. Uh, but this is up to everyone individually. And what I'm saying is, if you start complaining about what other people do, you say, why didn't he do that? Well, that's his, as long as it doesn't interfere with you, it um, it shouldn't be your business, right? I mean, if it interferes and if it hurts you or hurts someone, then you should interfere. But always ask yourself, what can I do? What can I do? And is it good to react? Is it good to react? You know, sometimes no reaction is the best reaction. Because if you start contradicting the person that contradicts you, it becomes a war. And sometimes that battle never starts happening because the thing that he said to you was not as bad, right? Somebody says something nasty to you, you wait 5 minutes, and you realize what he said to you was a joke. Because there's people that have, you know, pretty, you know, aggressive sense of humor. But they don't mean anything. They didn't mean to hurt you, you know. They just were, you know, explosive. But not explosive in a bad way. There's people that have a sarcastic sense of humor, and they don't realize they hurt other people. But so ask yourself, what can I do to remain in my center? How important is somebody else's reaction to you? Or is it better for me to just stay in my middle? And the thoughts that come and the feelings are actually just clouds in the sky. And those clouds will vanish. They will not go anywhere. They just turn into light. So it is, you know, and we're at a point now as a human race to realize that what do we have to actually react to? How important is something? You know, because we've gone for thousands of years turning literally little tiny problems into huge world wars, and it really wasn't necessary. So, you know, try to, you know, realize you're the tree, you have your roots, you have your branches, you stand firmly in the ground, your roots are firmly placed in the ground, you know, use the contradictions to see that you are in your middle. You know, you have both darkness and light. You have both, you know, light. You have up and down. You have all these things. But they're your branches. They're like different parts of you, and they're not evil. They're not, you know, not good or evil. They just are. So this is maybe something to leave you with. And if you've watched this video until here, great. I admire you. Wonderful. You know, as I said, I won't promote this video. I'll just put it online for whoever wants to watch it. Great. Fantastic. If you agree with me, great. If you don't, that's also great. You know, we're all entitled to different opinions. And with that, I send you my most wonderful and profound blessings.